All right, Lee Teat, week 7, brother. It is here already. Can you believe it?
No, I commented on it earlier. When we went Facebook Live, it's flying by.
Flying by,
But
man.
we're finally getting good weather.
That's right. Friday main event. We are at Summit High School, big region showdown tonight. They've got Page coming in, Page undefeated, Summit undefeated in region play. Should be a huge game. We're going to get the show kicked off, man. We called up a buddy of ours. He's got a big game tonight. And of
Yes, he
course, we're talking
does.
about Independence head coach Scott Blake. Coach, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you coming on with us, Coach. Like I said, man, this should be a good one. You guys, you were in our preseason top 10. We felt that this team was going to be a solid team, and it's proved out to be so. Are you pretty happy with where the team's at right now?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, we've after the first week loss, got refocused and have played an incredible schedule against we think, really fine teams with a lot of tradition and history behind them. And our kids have played well enough to win 5 in a row. So we're happy with where they're at, and I look forward to seeing them play tonight.
Coach, we were surprised by the Summit loss there to start the season, but obviously Summit's a lot better than everyone realized, I think, at the time. In what way has your team improved since that loss? What did you take away from that?
Well, I thought we were focused. I think we started 5 sophomores. There's no excuses. Just trying to give you a backdrop. They outplayed us, outcoached us. They beat us fair and square. But we made some mistakes that you make against any team, whether they're good or not.
Right.
Your chances going down are they go down exponentially. So we had 6 or 7 bad snaps. We had 5 fumbles. Stuff that we haven't done. It's what bad teams do. We were bad our first game, and we've corrected that. And hopefully we can, keep improving in that area. And that's kind of been the reason why we've been successful. We've cut down on some of the silly mistakes, some of the things that we can control.
Well, Coach, this Region 6 looks to be pretty balanced again this year. I think you guys went to overtime with Franklin a couple of weeks ago. Now you've got a really good Brentwood team coming in tonight. The winner of this one will be the only remaining undefeated team in region play. How do you feel the teams, match up for tonight?
Yeah, you're right. Everything's real balanced. I mean, it's tough to get into the playoffs, let alone get a top 1 or 2 seed to get a home game in this conference. I think from top to bottom, and having been in the state for now 14 years, I can say it with some confidence that I think our region is arguably the toughest in the state.
Yeah.
Just from the quality programs and the coaches and the way things are run. So tonight's it's anybody's game. Coach Crawford does a heck of a job. His team is well balanced. I think they're probably. I know that they're the toughest team we've played so far, meaning well coached and balanced and disciplined,
Right.
and the whole 9 yards. So it'll really be a challenge for us. We've got to have some things go our way to hang in this one, but it should hopefully shape up to be a great game.
One thing about this region that I find interesting, not only is it, pretty balanced as we just talked about, there's a real good mix of older coaches and younger coaches. You got Matt Kreisky and Matt Daniels, some of the young guns, and then, you had Donnie Webb, you got Coach Crawford tonight. What similarities do you see in the different generations, and what's the difference in preparation, depending on what generation coach you're up?
Yeah, I'm not sure where I fall into that.
Well, I wasn't either. That's why I didn't say. I didn't put you. I didn't put you in either one. I wasn't
Yeah, I
sure.
appreciate that. I'm somewhere in there.
There
Yeah. You know what? I think everybody's philosophies are different. Mine are different than everybody, and I don't know that I do have. I think most will say I do have some old school tendencies in me. And we don't do a ton of things. We look like we do, but we don't do a ton of things. And those that really study what we're doing, they can kind of see what I like. And Donnie Webb we were on a coach's show together a couple of weeks ago, and he pegged it pretty good. I'm not just going to formation just for whatever. I'm going to formation to see what I like and try and figure out your weaknesses and where the grass is and that's where I'm going after. It's not really a lot of complicated issue. I think everybody, like I said, everybody's different in their approach. Some guys will just run plays just to see what sticks. It seems like.
I think the best coaches are really good at scouting their own team. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, yeah. You better know what your own team can and can't do.
Right.
And I think so.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's what makes our region or district, whatever they call it now, so exciting to watch. Is you're going to get. Plus, you have these rivalry games. They're for real. These inter-county games are. I mean, there's something else.
Hmm.
And we have not had a week. It's week 7 now. We have not had a week that's a kind of a gimme, so to speak. It has
Right.
been every single week. If you're, a CPA to Summit to Hendersonville, these are all our non and Blackman.
Mm.
Geez, these are our non-conference games, and we still got a heck of a run left. So,
Right. Right.
I mean, we're just happy to be where we're at, and feel fortunate, and hopefully can keep it going.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, one of the reasons I think you are where you are in the season right now, standing wise, is Ethan Cash. He's got 1,400 yards passing to go along with, I think, 11 touchdowns. He's also been effective running the ball with another 4 TDs. Uh,
Yeah.
I think he's got Louisville and Western Kentucky showing a little bit of interest in him. Does he have any other offers right now?
Yeah, he had Southern Illinois, Indiana State, and Tennessee Tech.
Okay.
Um, Time will tell on that.
Right.
He's a heck of a kid. He's really a competitor. I love him. He's a bad dude.
Hmm.
He's fun to coach. He's got a skill set. He's a tough dude. He's had, I don't know what his yardage are for running the ball, but I mean, he's lowered the boom the last few weeks. He's a 215-pound guy that is a physical guy,
Right.
and just a big arm. So for us, we love. He is what makes this whole thing go. Kind of like Andrew Bunch was that in 15. He was kind of the engine that made the car run, so to speak.
Right. Mike Molder and Lee Teat joined by phone with Independence head coach Scott Blade here on the Friday Minute. Coach, senior wide receiver Chase Bishop, I think he's been a little banged up. My understanding is he's ready to go tonight. Of course, he's joined by Brian Pierce, Jackson Campbell, former really great receiving core. And, I think that's one thing Ethan's been able to do is distribute the ball really good. Talk a minute about those receivers and what they've meant so far.
Yeah, we'll have Chase will be back tonight. Jackson Campbell has had probably our leading receiver right now. Brian Pierce is another one that's had a good year, good start so far. Brigham Morkel, Calvin Wilson, Chase Harmon, they're also in the rotation. We really like our group.
Hmm.
They work extremely hard. They're getting better every day. And I know that's what you want to, as a coach, you want to be saying it
Right.
and believing it. Here we are after 2 months of into it, and they're getting better. They're working hard, and they got great attitudes. And we still think that the ceiling is far away from them. They can continue to improve, and they've done a great job for us.
Hmm.
Well, Coach, there's Coach Blade. There's 3 phases to the game. And we've talked a little bit here about your offense, but you got a senior in Chase Robertson who's committed to Princeton, who's leading your team in tackles on the defensive side of the ball. Can you talk about him and some of your other leaders on your defensive side?
Well, Chase is actually been hurt the last couple of weeks.
Oh, didn't know that.
We've got Caleb Lanford's another senior there. Uh, Ethan Pickering and Joshua Moore have done a great job at linebacker for us. Zach Smith's another linebacker. Jackson Campbell is our free safety. He's had a big year on both sides of the ball. So, we've got a kind of an unsung hero defense that when they're focused and when they're playing together, they've had a pretty good at times done real well. The CPA game, the Centennial game, and the Blackman game, to those 3 specifically, and then the second half against Franklin and against Hendersonville,
Mm.
they did well. And when
Mm.
they're not focused, when they're not playing together, the first half of Franklin, the first half of Hendersonville, we're as average as can be with a capital A.
Right.
But when they are playing for the right reasons and going together, they're a fun group to watch, and and doing some good stuff.
Well, Coach Lee kind of mentioned, these region games, potentially all of them are going to be really close. With the region being as balanced as it is, and the special teams may come into play tonight. I know Cooper Allen has done a really good job punting the ball for you guys. I think he's averaging 40 yards a game. How has sophomore Sam Hinkie done, and what kind of ranges he got if it gets down to that tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Allen, he's got a Division I leg.
Mm,
He hit probably a 60-yarder last
wow,
week.
wow.
Just a beautiful. He's a big 6'2", 190, great kid,
Mm,
and just his first year punting for us. He's got another year.
wow.
And then Sam does all of our kickoff and our PAT and field goal duties. I don't typically do a bunch of field goals. You know that. I mean,
Right.
that's my whole career.
Right.
But if it need be, we can do it. But we're typically not going to try it outside the 20. And here I am on the outside the stadium right now, and it's got a little bit of a breeze, so those type of things come into play.
You don't mind?
Um,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
so
gonna
we'll
slip
just see.
another interviewer in here on you.
Okay,
We got your buddy Coach Coleman on with us.
okay, good deal.
Coach, talk to him, man.
What's up, Coach Blade? How are you?
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Man,
Congrats on your start so far, man. You guys got it going.
thank you, Coach. Appreciate y'all, too. Y'all on a roll. Y'all are on a roll. Uh, we're out here warming up. Can you believe that? We're out here warming up, throwing the ball around. I don't even know who I am anymore.
Coach Blade, he was talking about that when we had him on. You guys got a big game tonight too, but it was we appreciate Coach Blade. He's always really good about jumping on with Coach. I'll get back to the interview with you. We brought Coach Coleman in a little bit earlier. Lee,
Yeah. Hey, Coach Blade. Um, I know you call the plays on the offensive side of the ball, but is Lance White? Is he still handling the other side of the ball for you?
Yes,
Okay.
how long has he been coaching with you?
7 years. Him and Greg Burns and Chad Gates. Those are three guys have been with me since I got here.
Well, that's what I was wondering about. We always try to give the staff. They don't usually get a lot of recognition. We like to kind of mention those guys. I was kind of wondering, if you had any guys that been with you the whole time. So Lance has been there the whole time, huh?
Yeah, Lance has been here, and my wide receiver coach and my freshman head coach.
Hmm.
There's always turnover. We feel like we've got a pretty good core there, and I've got Mike Riazzi's. This is his third year with me. Brandon Swayze, an ex-player from Independence, second year. I've got one of my ex-players from Hillsboro coaching with me this year. Demetrius Garrett,
Hmm.
Jeff Parker, who was a former offensive coordinator at TSU. Known him for 13, 14 years since he recruited our players. So he's with me this year.
Right.
Carter Pillow's been with me third year. And then a couple other guys, Chris Holloway and Justin Ventliner, a couple guys with the freshman team that's their first year. So, yeah, we got a fun group, exciting group to work with. Some new, like you said, mix it with some new minds and some experience in there. It's a good group.
That's great. I think the success to any program is having a good continuity on that staff. That's good. Those guys have been with you that long. Well, Coach
Yeah,
Blade, we don't want to hold you up, buddy. I know you got a lot going on over there. You guys got a big game tonight, but Lee and I'd like to wish you luck, and hopefully we can catch up with you again before the season's up.
sounds good. Thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
See you, buddy.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, Lee. That was appreciate you jumping on,
Oh,
brother.
no problem.
I saw you over there. I said I'll just go ahead and grab him right quick, get him on with us.
Yeah, we're warming up a little bit.
That's right. Let me go ahead and throw their schedule up there right quick. 30 seconds. We'll take a 30-second break. And we'll come back with Coach Coleman. All right, we are back here Friday main event. We ain't got you in shot good there, do we?
Get
That beautiful face of yours over here in the camera.
I got a face for the radio here.
Yeah, we do too. I done got you wrapped up in my chair here, I think. this makes for good camera. No, there we go. I was going to have y'all bent over there. Coach, we just got through talking to Independence head coach, man. First of all, me and Lee, man, we really appreciate you letting us come over here. Big game for you guys tonight.
Huge game, huge region game for us. Page was the region champ last year, so like I've told people, that until anybody dethrones them, they're the team to beat.
Well, they beat a good Shelbyville team in overtime a few weeks back. You guys, along with, I think you are the only remaining unbeaten team along with Page here in Region 5. How well do you think you guys match up with Page here?
Well, I hope we match up with them well. They're very athletic. Quarterback's very good. Coach, the Walker kid's good. Interested to see how physical they are. I think we talked to Coach Palmer and some other coaches. I think they're pretty physical up front, which kind of is a worry for us.
Right.
Defensively, they're going to be very sound, and then now they have Bubba back, so a good running back to go with all that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Bubba, we think that getting Bubba back over here to Page, along with Walker, makes them hard to defend. But you got to pick your poison. Will stopping Bubba probably be your priority? Stop the run.
You always got to stop the run. Yeah, a successful defense. The first thing is to stop the run, and so and then you got to watch the pass. I mean, Walker's a good scrambler, but he doesn't really scramble to run the ball. He wants to scramble around and buy time for his receivers. His receivers do a great job of getting open once he starts scrambling, doing their scrambling drill. So that's what makes him very dangerous.
Well, Coach, you heard us talking to Coach Blade about this. I think Alex Melton, your defense coordinator, how long has he been with you? And talk about your staff a little bit.
He's been here the whole time that we came here, I think 5 years ago, I think now. Coach Melton has had the defense. He's the head coach of the defense. I don't even go to the defensive meetings anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He handles it all. He got Coach Taylor, Coach Burnham, Coach Martin. We've got a couple of new guys. Coach Martin came from Siegel this year. Great player. He went to college at UT Martin, so he's a great player, and he's turned into a great coach. On my staff, I've got Coach Michaels. I've got who else? I got Coach Burkett. Coach Burkett, I coached. That's when you know you're getting old, when you hire coaches that you coached.
At Forest?
At Forest.
I think he was the one I talked to earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's when you know you're getting pretty old, too old.
I ain't going to tell you what he said about you.
No, I know. he probably said I wouldn't play him on defense when I was at Forest. He was a wide receiver, so he never played defense. But that's when you know you're getting on up in the age.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, speaking of, you got some guys on your staff now that you coached. Who's the biggest influence on you as a coach?
Oh, shoot. I guess Coach ate a lot. I mean, any. I've worked for a lot of Coach
Right.
Adelot he still helps me a lot offensively.
Mm.
Coach Mac McCurry, a great head coach. Coach Kyle Stacy, he was the head coach at Forest. He's still at Forest now. I tried my darndest to get him over here and coach offensive line.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He is.
A great, not only a great coach, but also a great man.
Mm.
So I've learned a lot from a lot of good guys.
Well, Coach, I talked to you and a guy here about quarterback Destin Wade. I think he's averaging 157 yards a game, 12 TDs, only 4 interceptions. So he's not only is he very athletic, he's a smart kid with the ball. Rushed for almost 300 yards, 5 TDs. A little banged up, my understanding is, but is he good to go tonight?
He's good to go.
What's your thoughts on him?
We tested him out tonight, so he'll just have his ankle heavily taped. He's a great kid, sophomore. He's just a great athlete. Just loves the game. No stage has been too big for him yet, so we'll see how he does tonight. Doesn't really get nervous. He looked good out here a minute ago, so I hope he's good to go.
We're joined with Summit head coach Brian Coleman here on the Friday main event.
Coach Destin's brother Keaton bulked up quite a bit in the off season. He's become a punishing runner for you guys. Talk about his production for you this year as well.
Yeah, his yardage is kind of down, and people would think the running backs have more yards, especially in our offense. But we've spelled him a lot with Trey Martin and Trey Hunter and actually Jaquil Cotton, both of those. So just trying to keep him fresh for nights like tonight.
That's
right. So tonight he's going to be called upon to run the ball a whole lot more. And he's kind of outgrowing the little brother now. He's probably about 20 pounds bigger than Destin.
Yeah.
So and he'll quickly remind Destin of that. So they're fun kids to have around, most definitely.
Well, Coach, I went over to Nola's and saw you during the scrimmages, and you told me back then George Odomegwa you guys had you moved him out to wide receiver. You told me the college scouts wanted to see him out there. First off, hats off to you for making that move. I mean, it is all about the kids, and
Yes.
if that's where he's going to play the next level, great job for you. But what's that meant to you guys moving him out there? How's that worked out for you? And I think you mixed a little spread in. You kind of spread things
We're
out,
spreading things
take
out.
advantage of him,
Yeah,
correct?
he's been our leading rusher for the last 2 years. Over 1,000 yards for the last 2 years. So and I've told a lot of people that we're so smart we moved into wide receiver now. but again, like we said, that's what colleges want to see. They want
Right.
to see him in that slot receiver, running out in space, and helped us out tremendously. Now we have some plays where we'll bring him in motion and get him in the backfield, one way or another, because he's still a gifted running back. But
Right.
get him out in space, throw bubbles to him. He's a great route runner, great hands, made some great catches. Y'all probably seen it on Twitter, but some wheel routes and stuff like that. He's got some great catches in the corner of the end zone. So that's his skill set. That's what they want to see. So it helps us out because it spreads the defense out. Now they got to worry about George out wide. You got to worry about Destiny Keaton and all those guys in the middle. So it helps us out everywhere.
Keep them guessing.
Coach, defensively, you guys are only giving up 10 points a game.
Yes.
Talk about your defense for a minute and who's some of the leaders on that side of the ball.
And we've only given up 7 points in the second half, and that was the Independence Week 1. So
Wow.
definitely been a second half defensive team.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Coach Melton does a great job. Jalen Harrod is our middle linebacker being recruited. He's committed to Navy, so taller kid that's got a really good nose for the ball. Kiston Arnold, he's got a lot of college offers. He's at D-line. Hayden Bell is at the other defensive end. And the secondary, one guy that doesn't get mentioned much, and he's just now playing this year, is Kaneda Wirtz. He plays basketball. We got him to come out and play football. He's been at corner for us.
Okay.
He gets bored during the games because they don't even throw to him.
He might get
Shutdown,
some
lockdown.
action
Yeah,
tonight.
he's gonna get some action tonight.
Yeah.
Did a great job against the Bishop kid at Independence.
Right.
I think he held him to like 5 catches, under 100 yards. So
Yeah.
doing that to that kid was
yeah.
a great job by him.
Right.
But he does get bored during the game because they won't throw his way. But we told him tonight he better be ready to go. But he doesn't get mentioned very much. He's a smaller kid, but doing a great job in the secondary. Good.
Well, you talked about that game. We just got to talk to Coach Blade. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but that win was a surprise to us. I think like most of the media, everybody kind of underestimated how good this Spartan squad is. I think you won that game by 19. Nobody has gotten within 14 points of you guys. If this game happens to get close tonight, like a lot of people think it may be, are you a little concerned about how the kids may respond in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, we haven't played in a close game much in the second half again, but we've been in a second half team. Franklin, we were 14 to 14 at halftime, so it was tight there. They were a very good football team, so we played some good competition. We played some 6A teams,
Right.
So we've been tested, so I hope we're all right there. But Page is another level also, and it's a region game, so it's so much online here. We'll see what we got. And to answer your question about not knowing about Independence, I don't think we knew what we had either.
Yeah.
You scrimmage and you do a lot of stuff preseason, but you don't know how.
You have a sophomore quarterback.
We have a sophomore quarterback changing the offense so much. We had an offensive line that only 1 or 2 returner starters. So, not that those guys weren't capable, they just didn't have experience.
Yeah,
so,
brother, we wasn't doubting you, man.
We were doubting ourselves. We didn't know what we had. So,
yeah.
So then they start making plays against Independence. We're like, oh, okay, we'll take this.
We might be all right.
We'll take this.
That's right.
We're speaking with Summit head coach Brian Coleman here on the Friday main event.
Coach Page did beat Shelbyville in overtime on a televised game a couple weeks back. I know coaches don't like to jump ahead and look ahead because you got a big ball game tonight. But do you see Shelbyville as the biggest region threat after tonight's game?
Most definitely, yes. After tonight's game, Page, like I said, region champs last year beat Shelbyville. So right now, yes, Page is a huge threat. After that, Shelbyville is a good team, a good football team. Then we still have Lincoln County and Franklin County left. So all region games here. You can't take a week off. Definitely, correct. We can go 6-4 and be out of the playoffs.
Right.
So all the region games being stacked to the back of the schedule is very important.
Well, like you said, you got all region games left. I've followed Region 6 pretty close. Coach Chad Watson, new head coach over at Gallatin, they've been doing phenomenal. Of course, Coach Crabtree's Beach team, we had them preseason #1. So Region 6 always pretty tough, and they've you know, they've gotten the best of Region 5. Now, you guys personally have done well, but you know, how do you think this year Region 5 and Region 6 stack up?
We match up good again. I
That's
mean, like you said, you named the two studs, and then you got Hillsboro.
yeah,
And who knows what they're going to bring each week.
exactly.
You know,
Always got a lot of
a
athletes.
lot of athletes. You know,
They seem to get better as the season goes.
they
too.
always do. They
Yeah.
always do.
Yeah.
I think Gallatin put it on them pretty early this year, and you know, Gallatin. We knew they were going to be good, but it's they were good.
They are
They're
really
good. And they're running the football, so they're doing things now that is going to make them successful in the playoffs. So, in week 11, 12, and stuff like that. And Beach, the thorn in our side because they put us out the last 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years ago it was in the quarterfinals, I believe,
Mhm.
and then last year in 3 overtimes at their place. So. Coach Crabtree does an excellent job with them, man. He's always got them ready to go.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, like I said, man, we appreciate you letting us come over here,
problem.
brother. It's always a pleasure. You do a
Oh,
Lee and
yeah.
I brag on you year round. Like this field is
I can't believe
beautiful,
when I
man.
got here, I'm like, they played on this last week.
We did. Had a middle school game too.
Unbelievable.
Powder
bud.
puff and all that kinds of junk.
Yeah.
Looks good, brother.
we love a coach. I mean, to me that
It's exactly
that
right.
tells you the passion for the program, how well you take care of the facilities.
You're right, and you want the kids to be proud of it. You
Yeah.
want the kids to come run out here and say, "Oh man, this feels nice." That's why we do it.
That's right.
and to keep the stuff everything surrounding the athlete. Chad Kirby does a great job. You want the kids and community and students to be proud of your stuff, so that's why we do it.
That's right. Well, if you want to hang around for a minute, I'll let you holler at Bob Robertson. I
I'll
won't
do
keep
it.
you the whole interview.
I'll do it.
We'll go ahead and get a quick break in right now, and then we'll get Bob Robertson on the phone. Friday main event with our buddy Coach Coleman and Lee Teat, and we'll be back right after this. Hey, folks, I want to talk to you a minute about our title sponsor, CoachT.com. We appreciate Jim Thompson and all the guys over at Coach T joining up with us. We'll be partnered with them for the second consecutive year. So Friday main event, we're honored to be associated with such a great website. If you're into high school sports, whether you play, you have a child that plays, or an ordinary fan, CoachT.com is a place you need to check out. And it's not just football. I mean, football is probably the biggest reason people visit CoachT.com. But if you have a kid into any other sport, softball, baseball, basketball, golf, soccer, if it's a high school sport, most likely you're going to find some information on CoachT.com. But what I want to talk to you about in particular is the Coach T Plus membership, which I happen to be a part of. For the second year in a row, the Coach T Plus membership will be donation based. So you decide what Coach T is worth to you. That's what's so great about the website. You can make as much commitment to the website as you feel comfortable with. Now, myself, I'm on the website, multiple times a day, as a matter of fact. So, I feel like I owe it to the website and I owe it to Coach T to make a nice donation, and hopefully you guys will feel that commitment as well. We do want to keep the website running. Many of us get a lot of enjoyment out of the website, but the Plus membership, you get access to certain boards that you don't have as just a regular member of Coach T. So that's one reason to join the Plus membership. Another reason is you're kind of the captain of your team. You're in charge of the scheduling, or I should say the correction. If there's any corrections need to be made to schedules, any corrections need to be made to the scores that are reported, you have the ability to do that. And that's what the Coach T Plus membership, it kind of provides you a certain degree of ownership into the website. So please check it out, man. It's on the front page. You go to the home page, again, CoachT.com. There's a tab right there where you can click and become a Coach T Plus member. And just because you are now, don't assume you are forever. That is a one-year membership, so you need to double check, make sure your membership has not expired. Again, from the Friday main event, we appreciate CoachT.com and hope you guys appreciate them as much as we do. All right, we are back here, Friday main event. Brian Coleman, Lee Teat with me. We got the man on the phone with us, the legend. Anybody down in southern Middle Tennessee is aware of Bob Robertson and the Hunting Hornets. Coach, how you doing, buddy?
Doing fine.
Well, you got a big one tonight, partner. Is everybody ready to roll over there?
I think so. We got most of our kids ready to go. We had a good week of practice. It's a big game for both teams. I think our kids ready to get after it tonight.
Well, Coach, you've had 4 straight road games. I guess it's it's probably great for you to get back on. I know you really that's your baby, that field out there. I see you out there working on it, kind of like Coach Coleman over here. That's your passion. I guess Kermit Reed, you probably had him out there mowing and painting the field this week, hadn't you?
Well, I get Kermit to help paint the field. He fusses the whole time, but I haven't been able to get him on the lawnmower yet. So,
I don't think you want him on a lawnmower, do we? Would it be a little crooked or would it be straight?
Oh man, Coach, it's all region games from here on out, beginning with Mount Pleasant tonight. How well you feel you stack up against Mount Pleasant?
well, I think we stack up pretty good. They're a whole lot bigger than we are. They got some good running backs and all that, but I think our kids are ready to play. I told somebody the other day, he's talking about the rest of our schedule. I feel like Auburn, we feel like we're playing top 10 teams like the rest of the year. So, the good thing about it though is, our future's kind of in our hands. We win them, we can take care of our own destiny.
Coach Rob, good luck tonight. I'll talk to you later, all right?
I barely could hear that.
See you, Coach Rob. I got to go. I got to go take a
All right,
shower.
man, see you.
Oh my,
You ain't right, man.
that was hilarious.
Well, I'll let you, brother. We chased off Coach Coleman. He checking out on us. I thought he was going to jump in on the interview. He checking out on us.
Uh-oh.
Hey, man, what about that 21 Keyshawn Hudson, the all-state receiver? I think he's back healthy now. He had a really good game against Wayne County. I'm sure you guys watched a lot of film on him this week. Is he the guy you got to shut down if you're going to beat Mount Pleasant tonight?
We think he's the number one guy to stop.
Yeah.
He's not playing a whole lot of receiver this year unless they want to throw the ball. He's in the backfield running the ball and all that. And, hopefully our kids will key in on him and we contain him. That's going to play a huge role in who wins the ball game.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, speaking of all-state players, you got one there in Cameron Reed who's having another huge season for your Hornets. Talk a little bit about Cameron and how important he's been for your program over the last 4 years.
Well, Cameron's he's been all region his first 3 years here. I think he's been a 1,000-yard rusher every year too. Cameron's one of them kids that's a special kid. We count on him for a lot. With his size, we try to limit his carries, but a lot of times, he has to carry it more than we really want him to. But he's our bell cow. He's the one guy we got that can take it to the house whenever he touches it, and hopefully tonight we get him out in the open and let him run.
Mike Molder and Lee Teat talking to Huntland head coach Bob Robertson here on the Friday event. Coach Kobe Stewart, he's another kid having a great year for you guys. Fortunately for you, he's only a junior. He'll be back next year. You expect Kobe to kind of slide into that leadership role when Cameron graduates next year?
Well, we hope so. Kobe's been slowed with an ankle injury, got hurt in the Fayetteville game, and, he's really just now getting back healthy. And, hopefully tonight we can get a little more out of Kobe than we've been getting. He's another one of our ones that we're going to have to count on if we're going to be successful.
Right.
Coach, if you throw out that South Pittsburgh game, I think your defense has played pretty well this season. Talk a minute about Garrett Jernigan and some of the other leaders on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, Garrett's one of those kids that has a nose for the football. He's not going to scare anybody by just walking up. He's not one of those kids, but he has a nose for finding the football, and he leads us on defense. Defensively, we played well this year. Like you said, throughout the South Pittsburgh game, but that game was a whole different animal. So
Right.
we're looking forward to this one tonight, and I think our kids are going to be ready to play.
Well, Coach, I know Kermit, he was pretty excited about finding a kicker this off season. He was posting videos on Facebook of Abraham Morris making some long field goals. How has Abraham done, despite the fact that Kermit was the one teaching him how to kick? So he done pretty good.
Well, Kermit recruited him. We don't teach kickers. He's done a good job for us. I think he's 14 for 15 on extra points and 1 for 2 on field goals.
Yeah.
And it's it's good to have a kid over there. When you score, you can turn around and tell them we're going to kick the extra point and go out and make the extra point.
Mm,
So he's really important. He's also done a good job kicking off and punting for us too.
yeah.
Well, Coach Robertson, we had Coach Walker on earlier in the year, and we talked about that Huntland and Eagleville game, and Coach Walker said he felt pretty lucky to get out of there with a win. He kind of felt like, the fumbles factored into the opening loss for y'all. Have you got that cleaned up, and how do you think you've improved since then?
Well, we've the last 2 or 3 games, I don't think we've had but one turnover, and yeah, we have cleaned those up. Matter of fact, our first 2 losses of the year, the game at Federal, turnovers cost us that one too. So we've kind of cleaned that up some. You take away turnovers, we could be sitting here 5-1 right now. So
Right.
and everybody knows they hurt you, and anytime you talk to a coach, they're going to tell you need to limit your turnovers, take advantage of the chances you get, and that's the same thing rings true tonight. We got to take advantage of every opportunity we get to score, and we got to take care of the football.
Well, Coach, I think this is your 23rd year there at Huntland, and like I mentioned earlier, I see videos of you working on the field. It's obviously, that you love that school, and that's home for you. What's been your favorite moments there at Huntland High School as a head coach?
Well, there's been a bunch of them. I hate to talk about it. I guess, in 99, 98, 99, we got to the semifinals, with the team, and got beat by USJ, or we could have been very easily playing for a state championship. So that team's probably one of the favorites. But there's been a lot of teams where the kids, they work hard.
Mm-hmm.
We got Huntland kids, and that's the thing that you enjoy about coaching here.
Right.
Coach, we mentioned you only have region games left on the schedule. And after tonight's matchup between Cornersville and Fayetteville, there's only going to be one remaining undefeated team in Region 5. Did you expect the region to be so balanced?
Well, I was talking to I think Murphy Fair earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like our district from top to bottom is one of the most competitive regions in the state.
I do too. Yeah.
I I think any given night, anybody can beat anybody.
Well, Coach, what Cornersville was able to do last year, shutting out 10 straight games. I don't think we'll ever see that again. Do you think we'll what do you think? That was just an incredible run. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
Well, that's one of those special teams with special kids, and no, I don't think you ever see another.
Mm-mm.
Not in this region
No,
anyway.
no.
That's one of them things where you give up a touchdown by accident.
Right,
So,
right.
they were a really good team. Matter of fact, Coach Randolph's turned them around this year.
He
They're
has.
playing really well right now.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, I got a two-part question for you here. You guys are off next week. Is that coming at a good time for you?
Well, that's one of those yes and no questions. I hate it's fall break for us. I hate fall break with a passion.
Right.
Uh, so yes, it's probably a blessing that it comes when it does. But as any football coach talk to that likes fall break,
Mm-hmm.
something's wrong with them.
Right.
So,
Well,
but the off week, it's coming at a pretty good time. We've had a couple of kids injured.
right.
We're getting them back tonight. Hadn't got to practice a whole lot, so the next 2 weeks is going to allow us to get 2 or 3 kids back ready to play before we play Moore County. So yes, it is coming at a good time.
And then you come off that bye week and go to Moore County. How far does that rivalry game go back?
1949, I guess. Coach Majors started the football program here, and I know y'all have heard this story, but
Sell it again. We love it.
Moore County beat Huntland on a late touchdown scored by Johnny Majors, and Coach Majors said then that he'd never coach against one of his sons again, so he loaded up the family that night, moved them all to Huntland.
That's great. Yeah,
So
I've heard you
it,
tell it before. I love that story. That's great. Well, brother, I know you got a lot going on over there, man. You guys got a big game. See if you can get Kermit, get a little work out of Kermit tonight, and we'll be rooting for you, brother. And hopefully you come out there with a win, and we can talk to you again before the season's up.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
All right, see you,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
See you.
All right, Lee. That's Bob Robertson, fully clothed, I do believe.
Dude, I love that guy, man.
He's a good one, isn't he?
Yes, laid back and
Yeah,
got a lot of passion for that Huntland area.
he does. He's all in, man. He's great. Him and the
And like you said, man, really, he's telling the truth. You take away about 4 or 5 turnovers, he's sitting at 5-1.
Yep.
So I mean, they're better than probably better than advertised.
Yeah, him and Coach Farmer has got a lot of roots down there. I think he coached a baseball team back when I played. So I think that's the two coaches you think about down in Huntland was Coach Farmer and Coach Robertson.
Right.
But yeah, he loves that program, man. He's always posting stuff. You and I are friends on Facebook, and I love Coach Robertson. But the story that we keep talking about Naked Bob, he was last time we called him. We had
I
to
should
call.
have said that. I should have never said
Well,
that.
you messed up and said it to me. You got
I
that
know.
right.
I should have never said
We
that.
we called him 2 or 3 times. Couldn't get him on the phone. He finally answered it, and he just got out of the shower. He said he was going to drip dry.
Yeah, he said,
So all we can
we're
think
like-
about the whole interview is
Yeah.
we're sitting here talking to him naked.
Oh, Lordy. That's awful.
We love Coach Robertson, though. He's a good one. He's a good one, Lee. All right, man. Well, let's get a break in, and I'll check. I haven't seen any indication pages here
I
yet.
haven't either, Mike.
So we'll go ahead and grab a quick break. We can go ahead and roll into our
Jump into 25.
Super 25, and then I told Coach Rathbone whenever he gets here, we'll be ready for him.
That'll work.
All right, Mike Molder, and he is Mr. Lee Teat. I am, again, Mike Molder, and this is the Friday Main Event, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back after this. Hey, folks, I want to tell you about a new sponsor who joined us this season, Elaborate Images. Marcia and her husband, Sheldon, they've been in business since 2007. They've got thousands of customers across Middle Tennessee now. They are located right here in Unionville, close to where I live, actually. But Marcia does a phenomenal job. Everything we've got from them, hats, T-shirts, sweatshirts. They even designed the banner we use now. I mean, they do excellent work. It's top quality work. All the merchandise that they use is top notch. You're not going to get the cheap stuff you get at a lot of the online websites I used to use. So I'd strongly suggest you check out Elaborate Images, and again, go to elaborateimages.com. Ask for Marcia. They've got a phone number contact there. Matter of fact, I'll give you that number now. 931-703-5410 is how you can get in touch with her if you don't want to go online. Again, 931-703-5410. That's Elaborate Images. They've got all the Friday Main Event apparel already set up, and you can tell her what you want from us. Or if you just want to go out on your own and get something designed for your business, I mean, they're great. We've been using them for a couple of years now. She decided to be a sponsor of the Friday Main Event this year, and we're very grateful to have them on board. So check them out, elaborateimages.com. All right, we are back here. Summit High School. I guess I need to put my mic down where they can hear us, though. Yeah, we're back at Summit High School, getting ready for a huge Region 5 battle over here, Lee. That's a shot of the field out here. We were bragging about, man, that grass is really still green as if it was, back in June. It looks great.
Yeah, he does a really, really outstanding job.
He does.
Good facilities over here, though.
It is. You're exactly right, Lee, and that's one reason why we enjoy coming over here, getting the opportunity to obviously see Coach Coleman, one of our good friends. And I was going to try to scan Lee Teat if I can get the right camera here. I might try to. There we go. So that's the visitor stands. And of course, we got that's about all we got for us scanning. But yeah, the field looks great, man. I'm pretty excited. We got a big game lined up.
It's going to be an exciting one.
We're going to talk about that in a little later, but we'll go ahead and get into our big games, Super 25 games tonight while we wait on Coach Rathbone to get here, Lee. And top of the line, one we're going to talk about first is a Region 3 matchup, Class 5A, Powell versus Campbell County, and Matt Lowe's team, Lee Teat, have played lights out. They've had a tough schedule. Started out with Anderson County and Greenville to begin the season. Won those games, still undefeated, 6-0, 3-0 in region play. I'm pretty high on Powell.
Buddy, they are rolling.
Yeah,
Like you said, they have got some quality wins over Anderson County and Greenville. Um, Playing really high-level football right now, and I don't see any reason for that to change tonight. What did it say? 81% of the fan base
yeah, 81.
has Powell, and I'm gonna go right along with the 81%.
Yeah, I don't think this game's even close, to be honest with you. Powell coming off a 49-0 win over a Halls team, an improved Halls
That's
team.
right.
And then you look at Campbell County; they defeated Carnes 27-20 last week. Now they're 4-2. I mean, they're 1-1 in region play, so it's not a bad Campbell County Cougar squad. But I just don't think they got the horses to run with the Panthers.
I don't either, man. And Powell's quarterback, Trusley, he's playing lights out right now. And I don't see, like I said, I don't see any reason for this anything to change tonight. I think they cruise in this one.
Yeah, well, Hunter White, the quarterback for Campbell County, Lee, he's done a great job. He's got over 1,000 yards passing, 7 TDs.
But he turns it over a little bit, don't he?
Yeah, that's the issue. He's thrown 8 interceptions to go with those 7 TDs, Lee, and that may wind up being a factor in that. Well, they just cranked it up, didn't they? Trying to blow us out here. So I'm going Powell. You're going Powell. Let's move on to number 24. And number 24 is a replacement game because I mentioned at the start of the show, man, we had Mount Juliet.
Right.
I think that game got rescheduled, so we slid in a game we probably should have had in our Super 25 to start with, and the reason being I think this is going to be for region title tonight. You got Fairview hosting Camden Central, Class 3A Region 6. Our buddy Chris Hughes' squad, 4-2 right now, 2-0 lead. They beat Sycamore, Cheatham County, East Hickman, but they did have a loss to Page in that battle. I think they call it the Battle of 840. I think that's right. And then they lost to Waverly. I was a little shocked by that loss.
I was a little shocked by it, but Waverly is stacked. They got a lot of athletes. Waverly does.
Yeah, Randall Bolden, new head coach.
Come over from Whitwell, coming off a state title, goes back to Waverly. So the guy knows how to coach, but he's got tons of athletes down there at Waverly.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, yeah, I was a little surprised. I had Fairview in that ball game. But tonight, this is for the region title, and it's at home.
Mm-hmm.
I like Fairview in this ball game. I think they probably a little bit tougher strength of schedule, I would think.
Yeah, we had, if you remember, Lee, we had Chris Hughes on with us back in the spring, and he was real high on Anakin King.
That's right. That's exactly
his quarterback. Right. He's thrown for 844 yards, 11 TDs, only 3 interceptions. But the fuel that makes that Yellow Jacket team play well is Logan Nardazzi.
That's correct.
Running back. He's already got 879 yards. He's averaging 9.5 yards a carry. He's a beast, man.
Well, I mean, hey, 3rd and 8, hand it to Logan.
Yeah.
Chances are you're going to get the first down, right?
That's right.
That's a nice thing to have back there.
That's an awesome thing to have. I mean, how many kids can average darn near a first down every time they touch the ball?
That's exactly right. So it says a lot about his line, too.
That's
line
true.
Play.
Good point.
So I like Coach Hughes tonight. I think the Yellow Jackets get it done and probably get out of this with the region.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely, the winner of this one's got the
driver's
leg up.
seat for sure.
No doubt. Because, of course, Fairview's already beaten Sycamore and Cheatham County. So this game right here pretty much seals the deal for them.
Right.
Lee, moving on down, number 23, Wilson Central at Hendersonville. This may wind up being a really good game with playoff implications. You got Region 4 opponents here. Both teams 1-1 in region play. Neither team can really afford, another region loss this early in the season. Who do you like in this one?
Well, the two teams that kind of gave Wilson Central trouble, or how they gave them trouble, was running the football.
Yeah.
And Hendersonville, I think Hendersonville's going to keep it on the ground tonight, try to take advantage of some things that they've seen, especially last week. Gallatin probably exposed a few things that Mount Juliet might not have done a little different.
Yeah.
And I think Coach Beasley, this is a very important ball game for him.
Yeah.
I like Hendersonville, man, but I like this game to be pretty tight.
Well, I think Hendersonville, the two dudes for Hendersonville, they got to play big is Brent Rowe and Helton Porter. These two kids, they've been big. Rowe, he's a man among boys out there. This kid is freakish, big and strong.
That's right.
He's got to bring it tonight. You know, this region, like I said, it's crazy, Lee. Mount Juliet, they're sitting in the driver's seat, still undefeated, but Wilson Central, they still got, I think they still got Lebanon,
They
correct?
still got Lebanon.
They still got Lebanon, so both of these teams need this win.
That's what I say. It's a big game. I like Hendersonville in a tight one though.
Like Hendersonville in a tight one, and I still ain't. I think Tristan Lewis has got to play good if Wilson Central's going to have a chance. The quarterback.
He's just a sophomore though,
Just a sophomore.
that's a good thing for Coach Dedman. We saw his team, and he's got some pretty good underclassmen coming back.
Yeah.
So the future's looking pretty good.
Yeah, no
they
doubt.
They don't need to get down on them.
Yeah, and of course they lost to Gallatin 16-0 last week. They did beat Springfield.
Who you going with there, bud?
I think I'm going to go. I don't know, Lee. I went back and forth on this one a lot. 55% of our fan base like Hendersonville, which tells me, everybody's expecting a close game here.
And it's at home now, at Hendersonville.
Hendersonville played Independence really close last week, 34 to 21 to 34. Excuse me, 31 to 24. I'll get it right here in a minute. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Hendersonville. I'm going to go Commandos. I like it. Like you said, they're at home. That may be the difference. I think on a neutral field, this is a coin flip.
Yes, sir.
All right, Lee, number 22, we got Cofield and Midway. Keith Henry squad, 5-1 now, 3-0 in region play. And then you got Midway with a 4-1 record, 1-0. Ron Treadway in his first year as head coach at Midway, doing a good job with the Green Wave.
He sure is. He's coming out of the gate strong. I would think right now it's kind of a toss-up game to me, but Cofield 38-14 win over Gordonsville, which Gordonsville's struggling. They're a very young program, Gordonsville is.
I think they've got some injuries too, don't they?
They do, but they're very young and got some key injuries.
Yeah.
I think Cofield goes on the road tonight, Mike, and gets a win here, but I don't know. Kind of hard to read this schedule, strength of schedule between these two teams.
Yeah, that's from. I'm with you, man. The one loss to Stone Memorial, that's a bigger school, but
Way bigger.
That's the only game Stone Memorial's won this year. So I don't know. That kind of disturbing to me. If Stone Memorial has dropped off that much, the fact that they knocked Cofield off. But I'm with you. I got to go tradition. Keith Henry, 145 wins in his career. I think I get it done.
Yeah, he's won 95 ball games in 11 years there at Cofield.
Yeah, right.
I think it's, Foster, tailback.
They got Greenback next week, though.
They do.
Is there a possibility they got any
Well,
look ahead here?
you think it could be a trap game?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. That's
a good point, Mike. I'm glad you.
That's their.
Good job, buddy.
That's their nemesis over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
There was several seasons they only lost 2 games, and that was Greenback twice.
Man, that's a good point.
So. Yeah, that's one thing I considered.
I'm gonna still go with Cofield.
I think I am too, but this game might be closer because of that. You buy that?
Well, if it gets first half, it gets kind of out of hand. He may sit some kids. Try to keep them fresh for next week.
Yeah.
Keep them,
Yeah.
They want that game next week.
Oh yeah. They definitely want that game next week, but they got to have this game this week too. I mean, because Midway's still undefeated in the region as well.
That's right.
So big game, but I'm going to go with Cofield. Farragut at Science Hill, Lee. The Admirals struggling a little this year, but you got to look at who they've lost to.
Yeah.
They've played a really tough schedule. They lost to Maryville. Stayed within 11 of Maryville. There's not many teams that have done that.
That's right.
So that tells me. I know Gavin Wilkinson, he's having another good year for him. I think he's got 114 yards, 4 TDs, but he has thrown 3 picks. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on this one?
Man,
Of course, I don't know if I mentioned the opponent, Science Hill. The Hilltoppers is who they're playing. I don't think
that's
I mentioned
right.
that.
Science Hill's had a brutal schedule,
They
man.
have.
They've lost to Elizabeth and David Crockett and Greenville.
Yeah.
And then Knox Catholic, who had a huge win last night.
Yeah, exactly.
Big win for
over BA.
That's right. For Coach Matthews.
Right.
Big win for them.
T. Martin's boy looked pretty good, didn't he?
He did.
Quarterback.
For a sophomore, he looked really well.
He did.
Really good feet. I think he's coming along as a passer, but he's got good footwork. In this ball game right here, Mike, I like Farragut on the road, but I think it's going to be close.
I'm right there with you. I think Eddie Courtney is he's in the process of getting things in the right direction. A good showing against Maryville is as good as a win against a lot of teams.
Well, if this comes down to kicking game, that's what. In a close ball game, it comes down to kicking game. Farragut's got a really good kicker.
Yeah, that's right.
Daniel Bethel. So that's kind of where I see this game going. Maybe
that's a good point.
6 point type game.
Yep. I'm going to agree with you, Lee. That gun, we ain't split on any of them yet. We might split on this one right here. Our buddy Marty Wheeler, his Cleveland Blue Raiders are headed over to Bradley Central for a big Region 2 matchup, Lee. 61% of our fan base likes Bradley Central. Of course, both these teams coming off bye weeks, had 2 weeks to prepare. What's your thoughts on this one?
Buddy, I'm going out on a limb right here. I'm going to go Cleveland.
Cleveland.
On the road.
Like the Blue Raiders.
I do.
Well, go ahead.
They lost to Knox Central and Maryville.
Right.
Tested a little bit. I think Coach Wheeler's getting his feet under him a little bit. I think he's starting to see his team respond, getting the style that he likes to coach and play.
Right.
So this is a big ball game for him tonight, and I think he's probably put a lot of emphasis on this. I'm gonna go Cleveland on the road.
That is a big pick. I was considering that myself, man. I don't know if I'm quite there yet. Now.
Well, you got to remember this is for home field.
Yeah.
Right. Top 2 teams in the region.
Right.
Or this will be for the second or the third place in the region.
Yeah, I think so.
Which guarantee you home field first round, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Big.
Good point.
That's big, buddy.
Now, McMinn County also remains unbeaten at 5-0 as, Bo Cagle has converted them over from the wing tee to the spread, so they're playing really good this year. I mean, you can't discount them. But I do feel these 2 teams are the second and third best teams in Region 2. Ooltewah not as good as they were last year. I think maybe they lost a lot. So I would definitely put this as number 2 and number 3. I just can't decide for sure which one is number 2, which one's number 3, Lee. Just for the sake of being different, I'm going to probably go with the Bears because quite honestly, in the preseason, I thought the Bears would be the challengers to Maryville if anybody was.
Right.
So I'm going to go with them. They beat Ooltewah, Beard, and Heritage, Walker Valley. Their only loss was to Farragut, I think, week 1. So I'm going to go with the Bears. I think it's going to be a good game, though. Sorry about that, Marty. Love you, buddy.
Riverboat gambling.
I'm probably doing you a favor by not picking you. So we love Marty Wheeler. No, I haven't seen him yet. They don't have that long a drive, so looks like I'm seeing some of their. Actually, I'm not seeing anybody from Page here yet. Are you?
I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah. All right, Lee. Well, we'll just proceed on. We'll get him on whenever he gets here. Watertown at Westmoreland. I didn't even check to see if he'd messaged me yet. Make sure he got our message. And that would be a big fat. No, he has not responded. So, all right, we may or may not have Charles Rathbone on. But if we don't, that's all good. We'll make do. We'll figure something out. What game were we talking about? Watertown, Westmoreland, right?
Watertown at Westmoreland.
Lee, Gavin Webster's squad. Gavin, I'm sorry. I think he pronounced his name Gavin. His squad has surprised me. The Purple Tigers coming off that region win last year, still 2-0. Beat a good White House team 28-8 last week. Are you surprised at how well the Purple Tigers have done?
A little bit. Reason being is they lost Heath Price, who was a phenomenal athlete, and Coach Webster's son was a senior quarterback last
That's
year.
right.
So yeah, I was a little surprised at this, but on the defensive side of the ball, no, I'm not. But man, what about, was it Daramus Carey? Unbelievable stats right now.
Yeah, he's having a good year for him. I think he's one of 3 starters back on that offense. But for me, Lee, the kid that's really impressed me is Braden Casino. He's come in at quarterback,
Yeah.
completed 59 passes, 752 yards, 10 TDs versus only 1 interception.
Stingy.
That's huge. That is huge. So he's been I think he's been the difference for Gavin Webster squad this year. Would you agree with that?
I think so too. But you talked about his stats right there: 10 TDs versus 1 interception. But he's got a pretty good lineman in front of him in Cresswell. He's a preseason All-Stater.
Yep.
So they've got talent all over the field. But I tell you what, I really like about this Watertown team, man, is their secondary is phenomenal.
Right.
They're very good. If you don't keep the ball on the ground, you put it in the air, they're gonna pick it, or your receivers are gonna pay.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like Watertown. Actually, pretty big, to be honest with you, Mike.
Yeah. Now Westmoreland did knock off an undefeated Clay County squad last week. Of course, we picked them to win that
That's
game,
right.
21-12. So I'm still impressed with the job Chad Perry's doing there. 4-2, 1-1 in region play. They have beat Whites Creek, Jackson County, Macon County, but they did lose to Trousdale County.
That's a common opponent.
And Livingston Academy, which that's no surprise there.
That's 2 solid squads.
Bruce Lamb's team is playing lights out
They
this
are,
year.
yes, sir.
I'm going to go with you, Lee. I like Watertown to win this, and 90%. That's a pretty big number. 90% of our Friday main event fan base, of course, we're Tennessee Sports on Twitter. Go to Twitter every week, guys. If you don't follow us on Twitter, again, we're at Tennessee Sports, no spaces. Follow us on Twitter. We put polls up for all of these games every week. Now, I appreciate the people that do vote every week. It kind of gives us a gauge at how, others view these games going. Not that we always follow it, but.
Well, like you said, though, the fan bases, man, they pay attention to the other teams too.
Yeah, that's right.
Give a little insight on the opponents and kind of what they're thinking. But I think Watertown kind of rolls in this one.
I do too. Another interesting game, Lee Teat, our number 18 game is over in Region 5, and that's Franklin County. Coach Matt McCurry's team, of course. Brian Coleman used to coach under Coach McCurry, so he's very familiar with him. Up against Columbia. And Jason Holt's squad playing very well, 4-2. They remain 1-0. They did beat Lincoln County in the region. They've got wins over Overton, Dixon County, and Spring Hill. This game right here, 52% of our fan base like Columbia. So pretty much a toss-up. What's your thoughts on this one?
I'm having a hard time with this ball game, Mike. I really am. Franklin County, they lost to Lincoln County.
Right.
Which kind of threw me a little bit. I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to have to go Columbia for one reason. They're at home.
Right.
That's the only reason I'm going that way.
I can see that, man. Now, they did get shut out by Nolensville last week, so are they going to have a hangover from that? You have to wonder about it. And, of course, Franklin County played a much lesser opponent in Grundy County. They had a bad loss to Tullahoma and a bad loss to Lincoln County. They lost to Tullahoma, Lee. I think they had 5 interceptions in that game as they're breaking in new quarterbacks. Of course, Riley Engel went down the first of the year. So
can you read into that Lincoln County game? Because Columbia beat them, and Franklin County lost to them. Can you read into that?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. Isaiah Sisk, I think he's finally emerged as a quarterback there at Franklin County. So having that position locked down now. He had his best start last week. He completed 2 TD passes. So if they get him settled into the position, I think, and again, the whole key for Franklin County this year, and it has been all year, is staying ahead of the chains and giving Big Dakota Wagner that football.
That's right.
If they can do that, I like them tonight.
Yeah, keep Sisk with short yardage situations.
Yeah, don't make it too hard on him.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Don't put him in a bad situation, and I think he'll be fine.
We're going to split on it?
I'm going to split on it. I'm going to go Rebels. I'm going to go Mac McCurry.
I'm going to go Columbia. Like I said, only one reason they're at home. That's it.
Yeah, I think this game, man, it would not shock me if it went either way. I don't have a real good feel for it either way. But it is huge as far as region. I think this team here, I think the loser of this team here misses the playoffs. I sure do.
Really?
Yes, I do, because you got Shelbyville, you got Summit, and you got Page. I think those are your 3 teams, and I think this 4th spot is going to come down to Columbia, Lincoln County, and Franklin County. And I think the team that loses this team, they're going to be on the outside looking in. So it's big. It's big. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that split.
Okay.
Split it, baby. Number 17, Lee, we got Wooddale at Melrose. Wooddale 5-1, 1-0 in the region. And again, this is a region contest. I think this quite possibly is for that region title over there in Region 8. Not a particularly strong region, but Cedric Wilson doing a good job there. 69% of the fan base like Melrose in this one.
I like Wooddale.
I like Wooddale too. I was hoping he's going to go the other way on that.
No, I like Wooddale in this. I think 69% of them got it wrong right here.
Yeah. Young, dude.
I think you and I are both pretty impressed with Wooddale's QB.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched some video on him, Lee. He's impressive. Of course, we're talking about John Jones.
Yep.
He looks good throwing
Dual
the ball.
threat,
Yeah, he's very capable of running the ball. So he's a dual threat, no doubt.
Wooddale's only lost to Briarcrest, private school down there.
Yeah,
Briarcrest
and
Christian,
pretty strong school.
Right, and then they beat Lausanne, another private down there.
Been to a couple of state title games of recent.
Well, what's the tailback at Tennessee, the freshman?
Eric Gray.
Gray, that's where he played,
That's
Lausanne.
right. That's right. Probably had a lot to do with that, didn't he?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But I don't know, Mike. I like John Jones. I think they get him out tonight in RPO, and he's gonna be hard to handle. So I'm gonna go Wooddale.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. All right, lead number 16. We got Knox Central at Knox Halls. This is 2 teams undefeated in region play. Of course, Knox Hall got knocked off pretty soundly by Powell last week.
Right.
49-0. They do have wins over Carter, Union County, Clinton, Carnes, and Gibbs. Flip side of that, Knox Central, Coach Ross's team coming off that state title last year. He's just kept on keeping on. 6-0 now, 2-0 in region play. I like the Bobcats quite a bit in this one.
I do too. I think Knox Central gets a win here. Falver, phenomenal quarterback, man. For Knox Central, he's just solid all the way around. He doesn't have I don't think he's got any kind of weaknesses.
No, he does.
He's just solid, man.
He's very accurate, 63% completion rate, 1,111 yards. He's thrown 16 TDs versus 2 interceptions.
Picks, man, and 4 different receivers.
Yeah, 4 different receivers with over 160 yards. So he's spreading the ball out good.
That's correct.
That's great. So, yeah, I think 5 different kids have caught TD passes. So anytime you got a senior quarterback that's that adept at distributing the ball, he doesn't have a particular favorite receiver, makes him that much harder to defend. You don't know where he's going with the ball.
That's right. And he's got, of course, Gaston is one of his primary targets, which we talked about him distributing the football. But in a clutch situation, he's looking for Gaston. And then also, excuse me, Mike, sorry, man.
All right.
Caleb Fortner, linebacker on the other side of the ball, I just think they got too much talent right now, and Falver is just playing lights out.
Yeah, Jason Merritt, you always turn around and hand the ball to him. Very effective in the backfield as well.
Well, you see him, do you think at this point, Mike, you may see him back?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look. Well, I mean, The East is tough because you got South Doyle, you've got Powell, Central. So
Right now, I would have to put Knox Central since they're repeat.
yeah, experience.
Right now, I would think they're close.
Yeah, I would put those three as the top runners.
We've got a coach coming over here.
Hey, come on in here, Coach.
So we're going Knox Central.
Yeah, let me cut the commercial here while we get him.
All right.
Friday main event. We'll be back right after this. Get Coach mic'd up. All right, Lee, we are back. We've got Page head coach Charles Rathbone on with us. Coach, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How are y'all?
We are great, man. We've got started to get a little worried. I told Lee as long as he'd come after 5:15, we was good. So y'all have a good trip over?
Yeah, in Williams County, you can't get buses until 5:15. So,
okay.
I mean, you got to come when you can.
That's right.
Well, Coach, it's been a great season for the Pats so far. You guys are currently sitting at 4-1, a huge overtime win against Shelbyville a couple weeks ago. We got to see that on TV. Safe to say you're pretty satisfied with how the team's played so far?
Yeah, we played pretty well at times. We got a lot of things we can improve on, and hopefully we can put it together tonight and kind of put the complete game together, and we'll see. Hopefully we can.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, that Shelbyville game was one of the best games we've had a chance to watch this year. The back and forth between the two teams, and they refused to give up. You got to love that competitive spirit. Where did that game rank on the list of the best games you've been involved with?
Man, I tell you what, it was a gut wrencher for sure.
Yeah.
So you get 3 plays at the 5, and it seems like man, it was never going to end. I remember getting home really late, but it's been a great game. It was a great game. It was a fun game. We were blessed to come out on top, and it's very equivalent to tonight's game. Not a lot of people thought we can go in or that we could beat Shelbyville again this year. And if you listen to all the newspapers and all the media guys, nobody's giving us a shot to beat Summit tonight. I understand they got 6 Division I players and all that, but I know with our team, one thing that I can promise you is win or lose, we're going to show up, we're going to play hard, and we're going to give it everything we got.
Well, Coach, I think if you've got a guy like Cade Walker in the backfield, and Lee and I, we've been his biggest fans the last 2 years, enjoyed following his career. What's he meant to the program?
Well, Cade's a special athlete. He's a special kid. He understands football, and that's rare nowadays, to be honest with you. They understand PlayStation football, but they don't really understand the ins and outs. But he understands the ins and the outs, and he's competed against kids that are older than him his whole entire life. He's a young senior. He should be a junior, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So he's competed with older kids his whole entire life, and he's just been a special player. He's surrounded by a special group of kids too.
Sure.
We got some kids that can catch the ball and run after the catch and things like that. But yeah, he's a special kid on and off the field, and off the field is really what matters to me.
I think he's a 3-year starter there at quarterback. Has he got any schools looking at him?
He started. He started after this game 2 years ago. So he's a 2.5-year starter.
Okay.
And he does have some schools looking at him. Lindsey Wilson, he's about 6 foot, maybe a little over 6 foot. He did not do the camp circuit like most kids do, but and I think that's hurt him a little bit.
Right.
But somebody, if they take a shot, is UNC Charlotte's looking at him. Somebody takes a shot on him, they're gonna get a special player.
I agree.
Hey, Lindsey Wilson's top 15 NAIA right now. Spanked Bethel last night, 58-3.
Yeah, and that's where Burdick went from last year. So
That's
he's
right.
up there, and we sent Zach Mizell there a few years
Yeah,
ago.
it's a good program, man.
It really is, and they throw the ball, which is what these guys like.
Right.
That's exactly right. Well, Coach, you're facing obviously a very good Summit team, undefeated at this point. They're not giving up a ton of points. They feature a really good sophomore quarterback in Destin Wade. I'm assuming containing him is going to be priority 1.
Yeah, we want to make him throw the ball, stay in the pocket and throw the ball. We don't let him get outside and beat us with his speed. A lot of, I think that's what their game plan is going to be with Cade, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So it's 2 very similar quarterbacks, but he's a great athlete. I used to, before I came to head coach, would open up the gyms and watch these kids play 8, 9-year-old basketball, and I can remember watching the Twins back in the day, and they were athletes then. So you knew when they were little they're going to be special.
Right.
So both those guys do a great job. So hopefully we'll be able to get some hits on him and keep him in the pocket and get him on the ground when the opportunity's there.
Mike Molder and Lee Teat talking to Page football head coach Charles Rathbone here on Friday Night. Coach, one kid that Lee and I we love Bubba Johnson. We talk about him all the time. We loved him 2 years ago when he was with you, and we were actually fussing at Spring Hill for not playing him enough last year. But what's it meant to get Bubba back this year?
He's just a quality kid. He brings last year, if you remember, we were 5 wide much of the season because we really didn't have a running back.
Right.
So this year we've been able to be a little bit more multiple and run the ball a little bit more. And he's been, it's just fun having him around. He's a hard-nosed kid, comes from a rough background.
Right.
Grew up with some circumstances that we wouldn't wish on anybody, but, he made it through. And
Right.
he made it through with high character and by doing the right things. And
made him stronger.
It made him stronger, physically and mentally. And he's been a great kid to have back. And I think it's only appropriate to finish his career as a Patriot.
Absolutely.
That's right. Well, Coach, you got seniors Miles Bond and Hayes Barnett, which have been some of Cade's favorite targets this year. But this senior class as a whole has accounted for a lot of production for you. How big a role is it in the locker room? We like to talk about the locker room. When you got a lot of seniors in the locker room, it helps your team, I think, with the guidance.
It does, and we got a weird locker room anyway. To be honest with you, it's like a bunch of nuts. But somehow, coaching staff as well. We're kind of a bunch of oddballs, but we seem to make it work, and these kids make it work being together. And Hayes Barnett, he's been a blessing this year. He's probably our best athlete on the field. He's got some height to him. He can run, great hands. Miles Bond, we knew he was going to be special. He had a good year last year, but again, playing behind Burdick or playing with Burdick, you're going to kind of get overshadowed. So he's put together a good year, and we're expecting hopefully they'll have a big night tonight.
Well, Coach, Max Van Landingham, he's having another great year for you guys. He's one of the leaders on that defensive side of the ball. I know he's received some offers already, one from Tennessee Tech. How important has he been to the defense this season?
He's been very important, as far as he's made some plays up front, but he's also just a kid that you can put in there and not worry about that side of the ball. And it allowed us to develop some other players around on that defensive line around him.
Yes, sir.
Austin Harshaw, I would say, probably the leader of the defense. He makes all the checks and all the calls, and man, he's all over the field. But it's nice having somebody like Max who can just go in there and get his job done and not have to worry about him giving up any big runs from his spot.
Right.
Well, you said the key word there. You got to develop some players. We know you're graduating a ton of skill guys off this year's team, but we were wondering how you guys looked up front as far as kids you're going to have back next year.
Well, next year we graduate 25 seniors.
Yeah, when he was big.
18, 19 starters. So I mean, it's gonna be a rebuilding year for sure. I think anytime you rebuild, you start by getting the kids to play hard, and we'll get the kids to play hard and play every down and focus on one play at a time, and let what happens. It may be a tough year. Who knows? Maybe we'll surprise the people. But I also been around this long enough to know that some of those teams like that no one expects much from, they can be some of the most beneficial teams you ever coach.
That's exactly right.
And that's what I'm hoping for. But hopefully we got a few more games to play this year before we worry about that.
Yes, sir. We're talking to Page football coach Charles Rathbone. Coach, we like to kind of recognize staff members when we can. I know coordinator Miller Polk and Brooks Smith have done a great job for you this year. How long have those guys been with you?
This is Miller's second round with me, so he's been here. He's been here the last 2 years.
Okay.
Brooks has been here, I think, going on his third year. We have a lot of turnover in coaches for whatever reason at Page. Either we can't find jobs within the school system, so both of them are non-faculty coaches.
Okay.
Which is kind of unusual in itself to have two non-faculty coaches as your
Coordinators, right?
But we just got to communicate very well on weekends and over phone calls and texts, and get together and throw stuff on the table and pick out a game plan that works for us. And that's kind of what we've done. And that was kind of what I was referring to. We're kind of a bunch of oddballs to begin with. I think I got 11 coaches, and 8 of them were non-faculty. So, we just don't get a lot in the school. We don't have a whole lot of turnover. So, those guys have been blessings, and the rest of the guys have done a great job, too. Coach McGochie and Harkins has been with me since I've been the head coach from day one, and Burdick, and all those guys do a great job. So I really appreciate them.
Well, Coach, I know you got a lot to do, buddy. We don't want to hold you up, but we really do appreciate you coming by and checking in with us, hollering at us, and talking to us for a while.
I appreciate y'all having me. Hopefully we'll put on a show and be an exciting game tonight.
We're expecting a good
We're
one, man.
expecting a good one.
Yeah, think so. But good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate
Hopefully
it.
we
Coach,
can.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can get with you again soon.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, buddy. All right, Lee. That is Coach Charles Rathbone, head coach Page. One of the good ones, man. Good coach right there. I knew he'd show up, Lee. I started to get a little nervous, but he did show up.
Oh yeah. Well, like you said, you got anytime you're dealing with trying to get buses and things like that, that stuff happens.
They got a lot on their plate every
I just
Friday.
appreciate them coming in. All of them are more than willing to jump on the phone or swing by and talk to us. And they could be. Man, I got to worry about my game plan, but they do it for the kids and come on and help us out, and we appreciate that.
Well, I mean,
speaking of coaches, sorry, man, something just crossed my mind.
Yeah.
If y'all are watching this and you haven't heard, you need to reach out and in your thoughts and prayers for Coach Rice over at Rockville, his son Austin, who led him to a state title.
Yep.
Actually, down in Wayne County, was involved in an automotive accident.
Yep.
And, struggling right now, not doing very well at all.
He's asked for prayers.
And Coach Rice is one of the good ones. Coach Rice, we're praying for you, man, and your family.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that. I meant to mention that too. I'm glad you remembered to do that. We think a lot of Coach Rice followed his career down there at Wayne County for years. One of the best coaches we know, and definitely thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, and hopefully Austin's able to pull out of it and everything's good. Lee, you want to jump back in the games, or you want to take a break, brother?
We can do it. Can I get a little sip of water?
Yeah. Well, we'll just take a little quick break here and let you get a drink, and I'll get a drink, and give these guys a break from looking at you and I for a minute.
Sounds good.
All right, Mike Molder, Lee Teat, Friday Main Event. We'll be back in 1 minute. Hey, folks, I want to tell you about a new sponsor who joined us this season, Elaborate Images. Marcia and her husband, Sheldon, they've been in business since 2007. They've got thousands of customers across Middle Tennessee now. They are located right here in Unionville, close to where I live, actually. But Marcia does a phenomenal job. Everything we've got from them, hats, T-shirts, sweatshirts. They even designed the banner we use now. They do excellent work. It's top quality work. All the merchandise that they use is top notch. You're not going to get the cheap stuff you get at a lot of the online websites I used to use. So I'd strongly suggest you check out Elaborate Images, and again, go to elaborateimages.com. Ask for Marcia. They've got a phone number, contact there. Matter of fact, I'll give you that number now. 931-703-5410 is how you can get in touch with her if you don't want to go online. Again, 931-703-5410. That's Elaborate Images. They've got all the Friday Main Event apparel already set up, and you can tell her what you want from us. Or if you just want to go out on your own and get something designed for your business, they're great. We've been using them for a couple of years now. She decided to be a sponsor of the Friday Main Event this year, and we're very grateful to have them on board. So check them out, elaborateimages.com. All right, Lee Teat, Bad Medicine in the background.
That's right. That's old school there.
It is old school. That's one thing I like about it. I'm not a big rap guy, so I like to see these schools playing my kind of music. That's terrible, isn't it? Part of being old, I guess.
Yeah.
That rap music kind of came along after my era. Well, I guess Beastie Boys, you could count them. That's about it.
There was some around.
Yeah, but I guess I just didn't know anything about them. We are at Summit High School. Summit High School got a huge region game tonight. We just had Charles Rathbone join us. We appreciate him jumping on with us. Lee, kids should be out here warming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, they kind of taking their time.
Taking their time, ain't they? Well, it isn't that hot today, so
yeah.
I kind of figured they'd be out here a little earlier, to be honest with you, since it's, what do you think, 78, 79 now?
No.
You don't think it's that?
No,
not
with this breeze, probably 75.
Yeah, feels good. Yeah, feels good. Good football weather tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Teat. Well, I guess we can proceed. I'll give a shot of the field here and see what we've been bragging on. Beautiful field out here. Team should be out here ready to start warming up here soon. I think both you and I picked Knox Central when we were talking games, did we not?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's pretty not even close.
All right, well, we'll roll on into a 4-2 Bartlett traveling to Houston, who is undefeated 5-0. Houston was in our preseason top 10, Lee. I think they're on a collision course with Whitehaven.
They are
on that side of the state.
Absolutely.
That's, in my opinion, the two best teams over on, in 6A over on the west side.
Absolutely, they're on a torrid pace to
yes,
meet.
Sir. Yes, sir. Who you like in this one?
I like Houston a lot, and probably for the same reason most people do. If you haven't been in the West Tennessee area, or people in Middle Tennessee, they probably don't know about Lincoln Park.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. Lee, I think he's averaging right at 200 yards a game. Already got 11 TDs through 5 games. I think he'll be in the discussion for Mr. Football, to be honest with you.
He has to be, man. He is a gifted young man. And he's doing this in 6A.
Yeah, exactly.
200 yards of game in 6A is pretty rough, pretty tough to do.
Yep.
But they've also got a solid quarterback there playing lights out right now.
Yep. Ethan Burns.
A lot to like about the Houston Mustangs.
Yeah, I'm sold, man. I bought in the preseason. There wasn't a lot of people talking about Houston, and of course you and I, we felt the whole time they were going to be contenders, and they've done an awesome job so far.
Right.
I've been really impressed with them. I think Coach James Thomas, as Mustangs are going to be. I was surprised only 60% of our Twitter followers picked Houston. That was a little shocking.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. I'm not taking anything away from Bartlett. They're having a good season.
Yeah, they are.
4-2.
Played White Station really close. They
Sure
beat
did.
Cordova. They beat Memphis Overton. So yeah, they're having a good season, no doubt.
But I think Houston's has got too much.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother. All right, moving on down. We'll bring it back over here to Middle Tennessee. You got Cane Ridge.
Now, this game's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah,
Mike.
it is. It is. Of course, we're talking about Cane Ridge at Smyrna.
Two of our favorite coaches.
Matt Williams at Smyrna, and of course Eddie Woods there at Cane Ridge. I stay in contact with Coach Woods quite a bit. Always been really impressed with his ability to coach a team up.
We tried to get him to go to UT a few years ago.
Yeah,
when they was having that coaching search.
Yeah, take over for Butch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't talk him into it, but I believe he could handle it.
I know he could.
He does a great job. And I tell you, Lee, what I like about this Cane Ridge team, and you haven't heard very many people talk about it, I got a little first-hand look when we went to, I saw him over at Riverdale in a scrimmage this summer, and that's Xavier Clemens. They're two, I say he's a dual threat. He hadn't really run the ball that much, but I saw the ability to run the ball. 62% of his passes he's completed, 881 yards, 14 TDs versus 3 picks. And he's only played in 4 games. Remember, he was injured to start the season.
Correct.
So, man, he's something to watch. He's fun to watch.
He is, and Cane Ridge, man, Coach Woods, he coaches them guys up. Look at Devon Starling and Jacquez Norman last year.
Yep.
Both are on playing college football now, and then he's got Quentin Barnes, who's got every school in the country after him.
Mm-hmm.
But he also does a good job with those kids in the classroom.
Yeah.
That's what I like about him. And we flip over here to Coach Williams at Smyrna. Man, very respected amongst his peers.
Right. And you couldn't ask for a better guy to be around your kid.
Well, he's very, very well respected amongst his peers. This is a big ball game for me. I like Cane Ridge to go on the road and get this win, but I told you Smyrna was kind of my sleeper team.
You did.
I don't think this is going to be as big of a margin of victory as a lot of people think.
Well, they lost to Centennial and East Nashville to start the season. Both of these teams, ironically, began the season 0-2. Cane Ridge more so as a result of not only a very, very tough schedule, but a lot of injuries, including Clemens at quarterback. Didn't play the first 2 games, but they lost to Brentwood and Pearl
Pearl Cone,
Cone,
both
two
undefeated.
two unbelievably good teams. Well, Brentwood lost to Henry County.
Henry County.
Yeah, but
That's
Pearl
right.
Cone is undefeated. And then Smyrna lost to Centennial and East Nashville. East Nashville, wow, we're going to talk about that game here in a minute. That's going to be a great game. But since then, both teams 4-0.
Kind of righted
Yeah,
the ship a
so
little.
it's tough. I mean, you got big Dallas Walker there, the number 20 recruit in the country at defensive end. He can get back there and wreak havoc in the backfield.
That's right. And then Rucker, John Rucker.
And this game was only 13-3 last year.
I know.
When Cane Ridge was loaded. So, I'm
Could be a little style matchup here,
yeah.
too.
I think this game's going to be close.
I do, too. I don't think it's going to be as big of a margin of victory as some people think.
Me neither.
But I do like Cane Ridge.
Yeah, if how you say that? Zaru Johnson, running back for Smyrna. How you say that name?
Zaru.
If he has a big game, Smyrna's got a good chance. Good chance.
They're good up front, man. Keller Williams, that's Coach Williams' son. He's good offensive lineman up front. And defensively, they're big up front.
He's starting freshman now, Landon Miller. And that's when they've kind of turned things around since he went to the freshman quarterback.
Yeah, Silas knows that kid.
Yeah, Landon Miller, they've gone 4-0 with him starting. He's got a good build and he's still growing.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's already 6'2", 6'3", something like that.
That's right.
So, this game may be close, Lee. I mean, just looking at it, from the outside, you would say, yeah, Cane Ridge. But be careful. Be careful with this.
Who you taking?
I'm going to take Cane Ridge, but I think that game's going to surprise some people. White House Heritage at Creekwood, Lee. I can't really gauge this White House Heritage team. They've played really good this year, and then they lost to your team, Greenbrier. They hadn't won a game all year. Greenbrier got smoked last week. That's the one game I don't really understand with this White House Heritage team.
Yeah, I didn't understand it either, and for that reason, they're kind of up and down.
Yeah.
Anytime you got a team that's up and down like that and you go on the road, it's hard for me to pick them.
Yep.
And we like Houston Thiel. We like what he's doing over there. We had him on last year. He's a Creekwood product.
Right.
And I'm going to go Red Hawks, man.
I think I'm going to go with you, Lee. 70% of our fan base like the Creekwood Red Hawks. I'm right there with you. I think
really
Stansbury. Stansbury. I think he should have a big game. Junior Wilson is the main reason for the turnaround at White House Heritage. He's doing a really good job at quarterback. He's completed 62% of his passes. Lee, he's thrown 11 TDs, 0 interceptions.
That's right.
Parker Deaton, he has almost 800 yards rushing, 8 TDs. Jackson Mapes, 409 yards. So Heritage has got a lot of weapons. That's what kind of scares me about this pick. But I agree with you. They've been kind of up and down type team, and that team's scary. Teams like that scare me.
That Mapes kid, he comes from good stock, man. I run around a little bit over there in White House, and there's a guy over there named
familiar name.
Harlan Mapes. He's a pretty tough cat. So, but I like Creekwood at home. Like you said, anytime you're fluctuating like they're doing right now, I don't like them on the road.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna go with Creekwood also. Eagleville and Lewis County. This is big Region 5 2A matchup. Lewis County lost to Summertown. That was kind of a surprise to me, Lee Teat. I didn't see that happening. Summertown, it appears maybe better. Obviously better than what I thought they were going to be. I think Floyd Walker's got his Eagles headed in the right direction. 71% of our fan base like the Eagles in this one.
That's true, but Eagleville lost to Forest, and what does Forest do?
Run the ball.
Run the football.
Yep.
And we know Bobby Sharp is going to run the football.
Absolutely.
Probably one of the best wing T coaches, probably one of the best in the nation if you really want to get down to it. There's no telling how many guys Bobby Sharp has taught the wing T.
That's true.
Unbelievable.
All right.
I mean, there's nothing he doesn't know about it.
All right.
And they're at home. I like Lewis County tonight, Mike. I do, because I think that run game
I think Kevin Creasy was one of them that coached under him.
That's correct. I like Lewis County at home. That's a tough place to go get a win, and I think that Coach Walker is going to struggle with stopping the run. Forrest gave him trouble.
Yeah. So you're going Lewis County?
I am.
Huh. Man, I'm really hung on this one. I would have been Lewis County all the way. But the thing that bothers me is that Summertown loss. I don't know. I'm not sold on Summertown. Leslie Mo's squad, they've looked good. I think they've only got one loss. I'm just not 100% sure that they're as good as that record indicates.
Right.
So for that reason, Lee, I'm going to split with you on this, and I'm going to go Eagleville Eagles.
I could see it.
All right, Mount Pleasant and Huntland. We talked to Coach Bob Robertson earlier tonight. Big game for them over in Region 5. The winner of this one is sitting pretty good, while the loser is in trouble. Because, we talked about it with Coach Robertson, a very balanced region with Cornersville and obviously Fayetteville, the two undefeated teams. But then you got Moore County, you got Richland, you got these two teams fighting for those last two playoff spots.
All right.
So you don't want to get in a situation where you have to win out, and the loser of this game is going to be pretty close to that. What's your thoughts?
Man,
ears itching.
I like Mount Pleasant tonight because we got Hudson back, kind of getting back healthy. Been banged up a little bit for the Tigers.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there thinking about Coach Robertson talking about those turnovers. He's got the turnover thing. Seems like under control.
Under control.
And you throw out the loss to South Pitt.
Right.
Just throw that out.
Right.
I don't know, Mike. I like Mount Pleasant. I'm gonna go Mount Pleasant on the road.
Yeah. They lost to South
Pittsburgh. May have
Pittsburgh.
just one or two too many athletes.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that direction as well. Huntland lost to Fayetteville, Eagleville. They did beat Joe Burns. They did beat Cascade. Of course, they beat Lookout Valley last week. Lookout Valley is just not a very good team. Mount Pleasant knocked off Wayne County. Coach Bradley's former team. I think he actually played at Wayne County, did he not?
I think that's right.
Thinking he did. But I think, like you said, I think they're back healthy now for the most part. Probably just a little bit more athleticism for the Tigers.
Well,
tough.
Coach Bradley's going to try to take Reed out.
Yes.
Or focus on Reed.
That's right.
So, and Coach Robertson said something in his interview with us about Kobe Stewart. If Stewart comes out and plays
makes up
well
the difference
tonight.
Yeah. If he serves as that second option and has a big game for him, I think he's the key to this game, believe it or not. I do. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Tigers. But I think this is going to be a really close game.
I do too, man.
It's tough. I hate to pick against old Kermit and Bob. I hate to pick against them, but you don't make them heart picks. I like Coach Bradley too. Not saying that.
Right.
No, I like both of these coaches. Good dudes. I'm going to go with Mount Pleasant on the road. Westview, South Gibson, Lee. This could be a very high-scoring game potentially, but Covington being able to bottleneck that Westview Charger offense is still a bit of a shocker to me. I didn't see that.
I think it's a matchup problem, though. I do. Covington likes to keep it on the ground.
Yep.
Keep the ball out of Ty Simpson's hands.
Right.
But man, I'm gonna stay on South Gibson bandwagon. I went Haywood last week because we thought there would be too much talent. Look at the score.
That 1 point game.
50-49.
Yeah.
Which I picked South Gibson over McNary and Crockett and Milan. So I'm gonna stay with South Gibson. I like Stidham. I like Coach Stidham, what he's doing, and he's got a senior quarterback. That's his son.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm going to go South Gibson, buddy.
I'm going to go with you. I like Matt McConnell a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I followed him through all the Waverly, career at Waverly. excellent coach, a very good offensive mind. Reminds me a lot of Justin Palmer over at Shelbyville. He's very creative on
Mm-hmm.
offense. But I mean, Ty Simpson is one of the best quarterbacks in the state already as a sophomore. Uh, and nobody's been able to stop him outside of Covington. So it is a high scoring game. Because South Gibson, we didn't think they were capable of scoring. Do you see this as a similar game to the Haywood game last week? I got to believe Westview's going to score. They scored 50 points in a loss to Lake County last week.
Yeah, they did. I do. But, South Gibson kind of reminds me of the Covington.
Yeah, very similar style of play.
Big and strong and physical, and then, try to take Westview off the field, keep them off the field.
Yeah.
But they can both put up numbers in bunches. I don't know, Mike. I'm probably thinking in the mid-30s.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm going to go with you, Lee. I'm going to go South Gibson, but I could see Westview win this game. I picked them. I picked McNary Central to beat them, and they come up and won that game. So I kind of became a believer at that point. But yeah, I think they're still young. I'm going to go with you, South Gibson. Lincoln County, Shelbyville, Lee. The Falcons need a win. They're at 2-4. 1-1, and much like we were talking about Franklin County and Columbia, they're almost to the point now where they need to win out. Now, a loss tonight doesn't eliminate them. They still got some region games to go. I think they beat Franklin County, which will help them because that may be one of the teams they're going to be in the tiebreaker with. But they did lose to Columbia,
Right.
So they're almost to that point where they need to win out because I think if any of those 3 lower tier teams are able to beat one of these 3 top tier teams, that might be the difference in the 4th playoff spot. So a win here would be huge for the Falcons.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Not tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so
No,
either.
Shelbyville's got too much, buddy. And
Yeah.
then add Caleb Marsh back to the mix.
Yeah.
Now they're getting more and more potent. Coach Palmer, man, that guy is a phenomenal offensive mind.
Yeah.
And got a good little quarterback coming along.
Yeah, big Cade Cunningham fan, and you're right, Cade. I talked to Coach Palmer prior to that Centennial game, and he didn't think Marsh was going to be back. So that had been a good surprise for that Shelbyville offense last week.
Man, Cunningham's growing too as the season's going. You can see his development, maturity starting to come along, and that's, man, getting into week 7. He'll be probably prime time around week 10.
Yep.
Going into the playoffs. I like Shelbyville pretty big, to be honest with you.
I do too. I agree with you, Lee Teat. They won this game 41-13 last year. I could see it. Maybe close to that again this year.
Probably.
I don't know. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 35-14. Hey, like that.
Yeah, pretty good.
Maybe. Oakland and Blackman, Lee. Typically a very good matchup over in Rutherford County.
I think this gets out of hand.
I do too. Cody Sparks, man, is playing next level good. The senior transfer, 841 yards, 13 TDs in limited play. Because their starters probably aren't even seeing the second half
Yeah,
much.
they're boat racing everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from Blackman. They got a bunch of really good athletes.
Yes, they do.
Connor Murphy, Bean.
Newson's been the one that I've been impressed with. Did you see that one-handed catch last week?
That's right, Malachi Burns.
Wow. Yeah.
But Oakland is on another level, buddy, defensively.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be the difference in this one. They struggled. That Blackman offense really struggled against a good Riverdale
front.
Exactly last week, and I think they're going to have trouble moving the ball tonight against Oakland.
Well, the difference between that this Oakland and that Riverdale squad is the fronts are good, but Oakland can defend you over the top. Their secondary is probably second to none.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know Blackman scores.
I can see it. It kind of depends on
because of this rivalry.
Yeah, Creasy's he's not gonna call the dogs off.
No, he's not. He's not gonna do it.
Yeah. All right.
I'd be very surprised. Maybe you get a touchdown late or something.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough to move the ball
is.
unless there's some turnovers.
Yeah, could be.
If they get a couple of turnovers, if they can be in the game in the second half, via the turnovers possibly, maybe. I just don't see it. Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland pretty big.
All right, Lee. Forest and Summertown. Leslie Mo's team. We just talked about them a few minutes ago. Probably the biggest shocker to me, maybe in Class 2A, is Summertown. I just didn't see them being this good. They were 4-6 last year, only 1-5 in region play. We may be fixing to get a football on the tent.
Yeah, or right upside my head. If
Yeah.
it knocks me out, just drag me off.
Hey, I'll put that on cameras. So if we get hit, we'll have it on film.
I'm right here. I'm scared.
Well, you got better hands than I do. You're sitting where you need to sit.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be good if I could see it.
I got lineman's hands. There we go. That's what we're seeing, Lee. Now, I'm sorry. I got distracted there. I saw that football headed right at me a minute ago.
I hope you catch there, number 6.
He's doing pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Forest Summertown, Eli Stevenson's team, 6-0, 2-0. They're in the top 10. Uh-oh, that's trouble. I'm going to back that kid up 5 yards.
I'm going to go Forest, Mike.
You going Forest? I'm going Forest, too. I think Nick McClendon has a big game tonight. He's been the glue to that team. Stud, all-state. Gavin Knight leads them. Gavin Knight.
Summertown, right?
So, yeah, he leads Summertown,
Yep.
I'm sorry, with 538 yards, 3 TDs. Colton Schaefer's doing a really nice job at quarterback, but he's thrown 5 interceptions. And if I remember right, this Forest secondary was pretty good against Eagleville, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm going Forest Rockets.
Forest Rockets. I got you, Lee. Tullahoma and Nolensville. This is a game this was probably our second choice if we didn't make it over here. Big Region 4 game. Tullahoma a 30-20 winner last season. Tullahoma needs a win. They've already got a region loss to Marshall County. This game right here, I believe Lee Teat will be for that second spot. I don't think anybody beats Marshall County. Of course, Nolensville still got to play them. They can beat them. They're capable of it. But I think this is for second place in the region.
I think so, too. I think maybe tonight, Mike, you got 2 really good quarterbacks going at it right here. Ryder Gallardi and Ben Fulton.
Yep.
But I think Gallardi's got more weapons.
Got more
I
weapons.
do. I think he's got more weapons with Kutris. I think he's got more weapons.
Well, Brian Nelms had a breakout game against Lincoln County, 133 yards, 2 TDs. If he can duplicate that effort tonight, I think Tullahoma has a very good chance of winning this game. That's what Ben Fulton has lacked. Of course, he had Korn, what was his name? Bryson Korn. Bryson Korn last year is an option in the backfield. He hadn't really had, somebody that can take some of that pass rush off of him this year.
That's true.
So if Nelms can come out and play good in the backfield, I think Tullahoma's got a good chance.
I think so too, but I think C.J. Ware, preseason All-Stater too at linebacker for Nolensville, he's all over the field.
Another question is, can Tullahoma's secondary keep track of help me out, Lee? Kutris, yeah, thank you. Sorry, name was leaving me.
He's a special player.
But Tullahoma had five interceptions against Lincoln County. I'm sorry, against Franklin County. That's
right.
Well, everything's running together week 7 against Franklin County. So I guess what I'm getting at is Tullahoma's secondary, I think, is pretty good, but they're going to really be tested against Kutris and a really good Ryder Gallardi at quarterback.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go Nolensville tonight, man.
79% of our fan base like the Knights to win this game.
I'm going to go Nolensville at home, but I think it's close.
Well, we had Nolensville in our preseason top 5 and I don't think considering they're 5-0, it wouldn't make sense to pick against them here in week
Right.
7. So I'm gonna go with you. I like the Knights, Paul Derrick squad, pretty tough. They haven't really been tested, Lee. That kind of bothers me a little bit as far as 4A level. Now they played Columbia, shut them out. Uh, Columbia's still yet to be determined how good they are. And then Lawrence County, Spring Hill, Watertown, Antioch. No real strong teams right there. Well, Watertown's strong in 2A, not strong in 4A.
Right.
So I think Tullahoma may be tested a little more.
Oh,
They
they
played Marshall
definitely are.
County and Shelbyville.
Oh yeah, they definitely.
So that
seem.
may factor in. We don't know if Nolensville as good as we sold them to be. Does that make sense? You still going Nolensville,
I'm
right?
still going Nolensville.
Can't talk you out of it.
No, sir.
I tried Tommy Fulton. I tried to talk Lee out of
Who
it.
you going?
I'm going to go Nolensville, too. I'm sorry, Tom. Love you, brother. We keep making them heart picks on here, can't we?
No, sir.
East Nashville and Pearl Cone, Lee Teat.
Man.
This is the one you want to see, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
It's a tough game. A lot of talent, man. There'll be as much talent on the field in this game as any field in the mid-state tonight.
Oh, definitely. I don't know. What do you think? Probably 15. There's probably 15, 17 Division I kids
Yeah.
going to be on the field.
I think so.
You're going to see two really, really, really good quarterbacks going at it.
Yep.
But, man, Martino Owens, that kid is playing lights out.
Yeah, I like him, man. He showed he's human against Hillsboro last week. He threw a couple of picks, but he did throw 4 touchdowns in that game. So, he's something else, man. He's got a lot of weapons too. He's good at distributing the ball. Man, I'm with you, Lee. I've went back and forth on this one a lot this week.
But East Nashville secondary is great, though.
Yes, that's true.
They got
Very
two.
good.
Look, number 26 recruit at corner, another All-Stater at corner. Ooh, buddy, that's why. Ooh,
You want to pull the trigger, ain't you, Lee?
I'd love to go see this, man. That's gonna be a great atmosphere to watch some high school football.
Oh, yeah.
Bands are
That'll
gonna be cranking.
Good bands.
They're gonna be good. Man, I tell you what, I'm gonna go with Pearl Cone, and I'm gonna go with Pearl Cone because of Tony Bernetti.
Yeah. Been there. Been there for a long time.
Head coach. I'm gonna go with him for that
13
reason.
years at
Talent for talent.
Pearl Cone.
It's a toss.
Yeah. They had the win over. I don't like the fact they give up 40 points to Hillsboro. That bothers me a little bit. But man, they beat Stratford. They beat NBA. They beat Cane Ridge. Played a brutal schedule. I'm gonna go with them too. I think it's gonna be a good game.
It is, man.
I'm like you. I'd like to see that one.
That's gonna be a really good game.
Pearl Cone, I'm with you. Cornersville and Fayetteville Lee. This should,
Another one.
in all likelihood, decide Region 5. Only 2 remaining undefeated teams. Definitely the winner of this game is in the driver's seat. If Fayetteville wins, they pretty much sold it up. They've already beat Moore County, Mount Pleasant, and Huntland. So if they win this one, they're the region champs. Now, Cornersville, they still got some teams. I think they still who they still got. Let's see, they beat Mount Pleasant. They beat Moore County.
Lost to Eagle.
So they still got Huntland, and they still got who else? That's it. They still got Huntland. So Cornersville could knock them off and get in the mix, even if Cornersville wins. But bottom line is, whoever wins this game is definitely the region favorite to take it this year.
I agree.
I think Salmore, Case and Warner, and junior Brady Callahan, they've led Cornersville's team in rushing, a team that's gotten a lot better. We knew Gerard Randolph would get this team playing good, but didn't know when it was going to happen. I like them, man. I don't know about this game, though. Who you going with? You want me to pick it first?
No, I'm going with Fayetteville.
I'm going with Fayetteville also. And
Size Clark.
Size, you took the words right out of my mouth. He's a
Special.
He's special, man. They line him up in the backfield at quarterback some. They run him some. Jacob Medlin is primarily the quarterback, but
And Romello.
Romello Tweedy is very good in the backfield, but I think Josiah's where he's most dangerous is at when they line him out wide at receiver. He's got a lot of receiving yards, but he's the difference. I think he's the difference in this one. Tough to defend.
Yeah.
So we like the Tigers, Lee, correct?
Fayetteville, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And this will be for the region title. Covington and Milan, Lee. That's our number 3 game. Always a tough game. J.R. Kirby's got, we didn't think Covington would be as good this year as that runner-up team last year, but, man, he's got them playing good football right now.
Yes, he does.
He's done a phenomenal job.
He does. I'll tell you what, man, I'm going to go with Covington tonight. I like Marcus Hayes.
283 yards last week, Lee. Scored 4 touchdowns on a 37-7. He's back. Remember, he was injured earlier. Four-wheeler accident, wasn't it?
That's right.
Coach Kirby told us he got injured in a four-wheeler. Obviously, he's good to go now, and he is a Mr. Football candidate. He was last year.
He's legit.
He would be probably, if not the we talked about East National Pearl. It's going to be in Alcoa. Oh, my
3A,
Lord.
yeah.
3A's tough. I don't know who's that Mr. Football. Whoever wins that Mr. Football in 3A deserves it.
That's right.
But Marcus Hayes will definitely be in the running.
Yeah, I'm going to go Covington.
I'm going Covington. I like the Chargers in this. Brentwood and Independence. We had Coach Blade on with us tonight, Lee. I'm interested to hear who you pick in this one because I know you've been a Ron Crawford guy from day one. You picked the upset over Ravenwood. Good job on that one. I went with Ravenwood, 21-14 over a good CPA team last week, and then of course Independence knocked off Hendersonville. So who do you like in this one, buddy?
Brentwood.
Like Brentwood.
I do.
Chase Bishop is back. Ethan Cash is playing really good, but Cade Granzo, the quarterback for Brentwood, Lee, got 9 TDs rushing. Got another, 9 passing, 8 rushing. So he's a legit dual threat as well.
He is, and you know what the difference to me in this ball game is a kicking game. Brentwood's got a really good kicker, Miller.
Yeah.
I like the kicking game tonight to come into play because, even Coach Blade admitted to us earlier, he don't like to kick the ball if he don't have to.
That's true.
And I think if this comes down to what I'm seeing in this game, pretty evenly matched, it could typically come down to some kind of special teams, and I think Brentwood's got the advantage right there, man.
Indy won this one 42-31 in a shootout regular season. Brentwood got them in overtime, 27-24 in the playoffs. So the team's pretty even last year. Similar amount of returning starters this year.
Cash is playing lights out, though.
I'm going to split on you.
Okay.
I'm going to go Indy, but I don't straight up coin flip.
Straight up coin toss. It is at Indy.
It is at Indy. But, yeah, Bruins are tough. Ron Crawford, he's hard to go against.
Well, that dude is just a solid. His teams are just solid.
Yeah.
They're just solid.
Very fundamentally sound. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They don't beat themselves.
That's right.
All right, Lee, we're ready for our game. Page over here at Summit. Big, huge Region 5 showdown, undefeated teams. Summit at 4-1. Their only loss was the Lipscomb Academy, a very good D2 team. And then, of course, did I say that? That's not right. I got them backwards, Lee. I got the stats backwards. Dadgummit, you big dummy. What would you do that for? But anyway, Page beat Shelbyville, beat Siegel, beat Fairview, lost to Lipscomb Academy. Is that right? That's correct. And then Summit beat Overton, Franklin, Columbia, Spring Hill, and then I got them flipped in my notes here. But what I'm getting at is these teams are pretty even on paper. What's your thoughts on it?
Man, it's hard to come over here and get a win, ain't it?
It's very hard to come over here and get a win. Coach Coleman is a lot like you were saying about Coach Crawford. His teams don't beat themselves very much. They're very sound fundamentally, don't make a lot of mistakes. He's made those deep playoff runs the last couple of years, running the Beach. Like he said, overtime game against Beach. His teams generally play well in the big games. traditionally.
They do.
And Coach Rathbone, we had him on. He said nobody thinks we're going to win, but we're going to be in this game.
I like the Page Patriots, to be honest with you, Mike, because of Bubba Johnson. And I also think that Coach Rathbone's going to try to do maybe some few different things than probably Destin's seen on defense. The quarterback for, speaking of the quarterback for Summit,
Yeah.
he's just a sophomore.
Uh-huh.
And I think Coach Rathbone probably try to mix up a few things.
Well, if you're
a couple different looks.
If you're a Shelbyville fan, you're rooting for Summit tonight.
Oh, you have to be.
Because if Summit does win this game, and Shelbyville's able to beat Summit when they match up in a couple weeks, then you got a three-way tie. And all these non-region games come into play. Shelbyville has not lost out of region yet. They got Cleveland next week coming to town. It's going to be a tough game for them.
Oh,
yeah. And then, of course, Summit has not lost a region game also, or non-region game. So that would throw Page out of the picture, okay? So then you got potentially 2 9-1 teams in Shelbyville and Summit. That would mean Shelbyville had beat Summit and would win the region. So what I'm going the long way around is Shelbyville's definitely pulling for Summit tonight. And Lee, I'm going to pick Summit.
Probably a pretty good pick, but I like Cade Walker.
I do too. I really like Cade Walker.
I do.
But this game, like most of the games we put on this list, Lee, could go either way.
Toss up, right?
Toss up, brother.
Kicking game goes to Page.
Kicking game goes to Page. Here you go. Well, you got me last week, I think. You got me the last 2 or 3 weeks. So
we split several this week.
We split several this week. One of us is going to look like a dummy. Probably me. All right, Mr. Teat. Well, that's going to conclude the Friday main event for Week 7. You need to make sure.
Nice
I think
out here.
I got a note for you. Yeah.
Roy
Dillard.
Roy Dillard. Drinking a Red Bull.
He's got a Red Bull. He's expecting you to have one for him next week, right?
That's right.
Roy's looking forward to us coming up there. I told Roy we'll have a.
You think I'm joking, but I'm not.
This is for you next week, Roy. You come on down, buddy. We'll put a headset on you. Promise. Promise, right, Lee?
That's right. Come on and visit with.
We'll be at South Pittsburgh.
Man, I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be a good one, man. South Pittsburgh currently ranked number 1 in 1A. Meigs County ranked number 2 behind Peabody in 2A.
Probably the best team out of the East, though.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. I think even better. I think they're playing even better in Trousdale right now and Watertown.
That's right.
So, look forward to that, man. That should be a great game, explosive game. 2 excellent coaches, Coach Fitzgerald and obviously the man, Vic Grider. We'll have those guys on with us next week. So, always a good show, man. Excited, ready for it.
Ready to roll.
All right, brother, let's tear this equipment down and get out here and watch some good football. I'm Mike Molder. He's Lee Teat. Friday main event. Subscribe, please, and hit that thumbs up, please, on this broadcast. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week at South Pittsburgh.